Jag ser även Jocke att vi håller oss kvar vid 1000 poäng.
Ja, det gör ni. Ja. 1000 poäng, så att det är för att få lite... Ni som är på Steam här, vi kör lite ljudtest. Hur låter det här mic-ljudet?
Falukorv och koka lite makaroner.
Boys, kan bara någon hoppa över till, vad heter det, och ha normal volym på Twitch och sen se om det är någorlunda okej volym. Det funkar. Bra. Well, hallå och välkomna. Hello and welcome. We're starting a day of 4 consecutive battles. And the first one is in RAURAY. If you see from the top, you can see that the Brits, after taking Bayeux, are trying to push forward into Tilly-sur-Selle, which we played the last time, and we also have a secondary push to RAURAY along an open area and a road where the British 7 and 8 armored brigades make a push into this sector. They're supported by the 50th Infantry Division. These are played by Emperor Davidus as the armored, 7 and 8 armored, and Ribe as the 50th Infantry Division. And through this move, the Brits are trying to cut off the German defenders that remain in the Caen sector. But most of the defenders of most of the Germans that pushed into Caen during round 1 of the Caen campaign have pulled back to RAURAY, almost like they anticipated this push. Yeah, to avoid getting encircled, basically. And they moved in to anticipate the attack. And the defenders of for the Germans are the 352nd Infantry Division, 2nd Panzer Division, and that is played by Flambard, who is being replaced with Casimir. And then we have then we have the 2nd Panzer Division, which is being played by in this case Dasumo. And I will see if we have a game. And we do. So unless I'm mistaken, without looking too much at my notes, I think these were the exact players that played the last time. And the same slightly revised special rules apply. If you look at this match, you will notice that the British attackers cannot move their troops forward for 45 seconds. Before it was that they couldn't build anything as well, but now they can build and but not move forward. So at the 45-second mark, they can push their troops forward. So I'm just asking chat if you see everything and if everything seems to be working fine. Can't hear any of you, so please just give me a heads up if you see everything working.
A new infantry section is ready for battle.
Dasumo is the purple player playing the Wehrmacht. Moving in, he's immediately locked in Osttruppen, the Osttruppen doctrine. And on the other side, we have Casimir, who has a loadout of Breakthrough, Overwatch, and Fortifications.
Target secure. Scout vehicle ready.
And now the Brits are actually starting to move forward. Green player is Emperor Davidus, who's pushing forward with 2 infantry sections. And the yellow player has opted, the Ribe has opted for an MG start with 2 sections as well. Exactly the same as Emperor Davidus. Emperor Davidus has locked in special weapons, and the Ribe has locked in royal artillery.
Attack is in action. Standing by for setting of command post.
So if you see map, we have quite a lot of fuel on this map. Very beautiful map. I think it's originally was done for Company of Heroes 1. The can't remember really if it was the American campaign or if it was the Brit campaign, but I think it was the American campaign.
Grenadier, ready for action.
Yep, both sides push in. We see a Kubelwagen from Casimir. Here we have the British Vickers set up and actually taking some shots at German MG42 of Dasumu, who's being caught out in the open. Quite an even split of the map with 2 stars each. Sturm Pioneers pushing in.
Our men are now fully equipped with entrenching tools. The enemy is taking our territory. We have been granted access to superior arms and soldiers.
Ooh, pretty bad engagement for the Sturm Pioneers here. They might go down. They're running the gauntlet across this road. And we have another Sturm Pioneer thinking about pushing in, but thinking better of it. Switching to this engagement up here. Ooh. Emperor Davidus' infantry section goes down. Kubelwagen duking it out with the infantry sections of Emperor Davidus. But has to fall back in the face of the Germans here. This Vickers is in a pretty good position with this tower here. Kind of like that position. Ooh, and a very early munitions cache from Ribe. Probably thinking of throwing a lot of the artillery down the throat of the Germans. But the Germans are taking the initiative. They're constantly, this is their second attack, and it's actually succeeding this time on the second victory point. And Dasumu is bringing up some Osttruppen to hold the line here. Also building a bunker. First thing he does.
Officers are now available for transfer to the front.
Let's see if he builds something on that. Yeah. No, he goes for a med bunker. No, command post to be able to reinforce from the front line. Yeah, that's interesting. Probably looking to reinforce this MG42 here. Yeah, Brits set up defensive lines, but are now pushing in. Looking to hit this MG40. They could possibly hit this MG42 in a rather favorable position if they realize it. Don't know if they have, if they can see it. Yeah, now they can see it. And yeah, they circle around. One squad is probably going to be hit by it, but the other one, and he's got grenade tech. No, this is artillery. He throws down an artillery flare. but then pulls out with both of the sections. I think he could have stayed around with with one of the sections there. And now the artillery is gonna come in. See what happens to this bunker. Direct hit goes down about 40%. And this MG is daring its way in, actually. Probably reinforcing as we go. Yep. Let's see if this bunker is going to stand, but I switched down to this engagement here where Emperor Davidus have pushed out an AEC, and is conducting an attack with 2 infantry sections supported by a Vickers. But he's attacking into Germans in hard green cover. And I don't know what hurt this AEC. Maybe a Raketen somewhere, but maybe it got pushed away. The Emperor Davidus has teched grenades and is probably moving into this building here. Yeah, it seems like the British attack, the British armored push forward. A bit weakened. The MG is in cover. And yeah, the infantry section, the combined efforts of the Germans here, this infantry section is really bleeding out, and Casimir is moving in with Panzerschreck equipped Sturmpioneers, and I'm thinking the AEC won't be able to handle a second shot. It will be going down. It will be going down, I think. Maybe second volley there. Yeah, there. And the Sturmpioneers only lost 1 man. Now the field is open for the Flamer half-track to wreak havoc on the British line, which all of them they have to fall back. Since I haven't casted in a while, I'm just going to ask chat if the sound is okay. Hoping it is. I'm hoping it is. I'm not speaking for deaf ears. Osttruppen pushing forwards. Not the best attacking troops, but since they've combined their forces on this... thank you, chat. Since they combined their forces on this side, it's looking rather good for them. We have a counterattack on the British right flank. Yes, they put the Vickers into this little building here, but you see how fast it goes down to the Flamer half-track? Yeah, and it goes down. But here comes some Vickers equipped infantry sections, taking some pot shots at this half-track, and none of them are hitting really. They're not so accurate against, yeah, but there it goes down. Not that heavy toll on the normal. And another artillery goes down on the command bunker, which will probably take it down. Yeah, though they're losing, it could have been that this one played a role in this, the 6-pounder. Piat's flying wild on this Kubelwagen here. Yep.
The front line could be... We're losing a capture point.
Oh, but an extremely fast Panzer IV by the Wehrmacht player. Probably we're going to hold back for now. Another push by the British armored on the British left flank. Has to retreat with 1 infantry section. And the Germans have taken position in this house, supported by infantry guns. AEC out for on the right flank of the Brits, but it's taking fire from the Panzer IV. Brits are pushing forward, but we have a Raketenwerfer trying to pick this AEC off, and yeah, there goes. I think this must be the second AEC from Emperor Davidos. You must remember that these tanks are not, these light vehicles are not tanks. Yeah. They're moving into very tough wall here, German wall. I think all of the British troops there went down actually. If you look at Emperor Davidos' army, it's not that big now. And we switch to the German armies and we see they're very big. They're got a considerable size. They've already taken them down from 1,000 to 635. So almost 400 victory points lost with a 4 cap against 1. Command bunker, new command bunkers is the first one got destroyed, and what is this called? A medic station from Dasumo. Whoops, I have totally missed this. Somehow, a British infantry section have snuck around on the side, capping 2 points on this side. And another half-track out from Dasumo. He really wants that half-track. He's gonna try to take care of these Brits. And these Brits are gonna have to run all the way back to base, and I'm not thinking that they will survive this MG position here. Attack conducted here. AEC hanging back. The 6-pounder is pretty slow in coming into support. And here's a big force of, it's a large force of Germans annihilating these Tommies. And this must be a misclick. The 6-pounder goes right into base. He's gonna, the Brits are gonna pour some artillery down on this position, but it's that attack must be considered a failed one. Germans try to pull forward in the midst of this, moving away from the artillery, but into the Vickers. I don't think the Germans lost a single squad to that attack and that artillery. They're just pulling back and probably going to move in here and reinforce from this strong point. AEC was the only one surviving. Let's see what Ribe has for forces. Yeah, almost all of his force was annihilated in this attack.
An infantry section of Tommies has been trained.
This is looking rather grim for the Brits at this point.
Anti-aircraft tank ready and waiting.
Pretty low health squads on these Casimir's troops here, but other than that, it looks very solid for the Germans. And they brought the Brits down to under 500 victory points in this 1,000-point battle. The only thing really standing fast is this Vickers positioning here, which has not seen any artillery or mortar attacks from the enemy, and the Germans haven't tried to make a large push into this area here. Emperor Davidos is trying to make a little push here on the British left flank. Actually coming forward, he'll be in the range of this machine gun right now.
We can deploy 105mm artillery barrages at your convenience.
Yeah. This time at least it's supported by a mortar. But the Brits have to fall down. The Casimir is picking up another Vickers. Maybe that's his first Vickers. Excuse me. Yeah, at least the mortar fire is forcing the MG out of this building, and a lot of these squads have very low health. Maybe these Storm Pioneers should try to put down the medical supplies. Oh, here's a push. British push. There is a Centaur. But here, the 6-pounder has been turned against the Brits. Might take this AEC down. Just get out of range there, but could be finished up by the... Yeah, it's the Panzer IV of the Sumu takes care of that. And the Centaur should really get the H out of there. Moving up some Piot troops now. I think these are fresh ones, but the Piot's moving in. Centaur's very low in health. Yeah, there it goes down.
One of our Centaur anti-aircraft tanks has been lost.
Oh, that was the artillery field officer bringing down a barrage, Panzerwerfer barrage on the British attack. And here comes another one. Very nicely played. How many of these has he got out? Got one of those. The Flamer half-track is still in position. The Panzer IV took a beating in that, but he's moving up the Pioneers, repairing his positions. Emperor Davidos and the British Armoured have brought up their first Cromwell, I'm guessing. And are slowly trying to come into this area. Actually, there's no machine guns now. So they should at least have a chance here. But there's a combined Raketenwerfer and Sturm Pioneers with Panzerschreck here. I think this Cromwell is going down, unless he's very lucky. He gets out of there. This infantry section. Moves in this infantry section in the building here. Flamer half-track is attacking. We have British artillery also pouring down. Oh, that infantry section went down. A shame to lose that. It had veterancy 2. Yep, and we have a Panther, Panzerkampfwagen 5, out for Casimir. Moving in, and it is pretty uncontested actually. Moving into the very thin British line. Should be able to take this mortar emplacement down.
The enemy have destroyed an engineer section. An emplacement has been destroyed.
And there it goes. have a mortar emplacement built by Ribe. Let's look through the German lines. Here we have a push east continuing. They're going to be not only 4, what do you call it? 4 cap. They're going to be totally capped, 5 capped in this battle. And I'm guessing, yeah, the victory points really are ticking down to nothing. This German strong point has been repaired. And now we have Panzerwerfers flying down. Yeah, they've scouted this mortar emplacement and they take it down with a shotgun barrage through the hedgerow here. And now they're pulling in more. Panzerwerfer barrage is using the artillery field officer very nicely. That's a coordinated barrage. And he should have a barrage ready. No. I must say I'm not fully familiar with exactly how the artillery field officer work, but it's very unusual that you see it handled with all its abilities or even purchased by someone playing Austroppen. British push coming in here, but we have a German flank attack possibly incoming. Cromwell peeks out from this and the Germans are coming in from behind. Takes a shot in the rear. Infantry section goes down. Cromwell's trying to reverse out of there. Infantry section taking position in the house, threatening the Panzer IV actually. Another infantry section armed with Piats are coming, pushing forward. A lot of artillery goes down. Cromwell peeks in, and the Panzer IV goes down. Well done. But this flame half-track could try to attack this building here, but probably should get out of there since every infantry section is armed with Piats. Cromwell's pretty heavily damaged, but tries to peek through to take a shot at the oh, artillery goes down and the infantry goes down on the house and the infantry section goes down with it. Suicide attack by the Cromwell, trying to get into the base. He really wants that half-track killed. And there that Cromwell goes, and that peters out that attack. I have some massive artillery falling down here. Yeah, called in by Casimir, zeroing artillery. Must have been that the British armored attacked at the same time. So that must have been a coordinated attack from the Brits. Yeah, they've regained this strategic point. Where is that going down?
We have hammered the enemy down to 50 points.
Small Valentine tank out from Ribe, and it goes down. Brumbar out for Dazumo. British artillery hammering the German strong point. Another Panther out from Casimir. Oh, he's got 2 of them now. Yeah, and we have another tank out over there. Overwhelming force. The Emperor Davidus has lost his Cromwell, apparently, and now only has Centaur out. And there, the victory points ran out. The first battle of RAURAY will go to the German side, 1-0. And this is a best of 3 We will probably not play the second match in this particular sector today. I can get back to you with an update on that, but thank you all. That was a nice, but very strong push by the Germans, who were very fast in capitalizing and bringing in tanks. Yes, here are the stats. You can see that in damage dealt, the German side has almost, around 15, 16,000, and the Brits are around 8,000 each. Well coordinated, and you can see that Ribe at one point he's almost contesting the Germans, and he makes a push and then loses almost everything. And I think we caught that on screen. That was the first push here. He lost everything, built it up again, and lost everything. And then he tried a third time and lost that one too. So 3 great attacks. And they all got repelled. We see that the third and last attack had there was a small dent in Dasumo's force. Something probably went down to all that artillery and that push there, but it wasn't enough to save the day for the Brits. Well, we are going to take a break. We're not going to play the second game of this series now, but we'll play 3 other games today. We'll switch to my map screen, and we will play at, let me just give it to you. At 4 o'clock, we will play 1 versus 1 in Troarn. That's the sector on the furthest point of the map there, where you see the German forces 7 and the British forces 7 will meet in a 1 versus 1. Then at 6 o'clock, we would have a 3 versus 3. And this is Central European time, Stockholm time actually. And then the last that will be Abaye d'Ardennes in this sector here. And then we will have one last battle in the sector of Bretteville at 8 o'clock tonight. So be sure to tune into that. Thanks for watching and see you later. I got a request to show resource floats, and I will. Hope you can hear me. I put that back. Yes, the resource floats are like so. We saw that Jan Ribe did not, he didn't float so many resources all throughout the game. Emperor Davidus had a rather high float actually, so maybe didn't use his resources to his full advantage, and then of course Dasumo and Casimir topped out pretty harshly at the end there, or even in the beginning for Casimir. Is there any other stats you want to see? I'm hoping you saw that one. Here we see the points held. This is, yeah, might as well do this for the if you want even more stats. This is how it looked for Jan Ribe, Emperor Davidus, and the Sumo. Yeah, his most valuable unit was the captured 6-pounder. It's excellent for the Germans if they can capture one of those. That must have been one of the misclicks in the start of the battle, where Ribe sent this in the midst of the German lines. Half track, successful as always. It was successful in the last game too. It will be interesting to see how the Brits will counter this. They need to be pretty. They need to have a counter for this, really. Casimir one. Yeah. You can see that on that side, Emperor Davidus tried to push in with tanks and light vehicles, and got countered pretty hard with the hidden Raketenwerfers. Well, I think that's it. And yeah, thank you for today. Thank you for this one. See you back at 4.